Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your March 2024 reading. My name is Nigel, and you have found alchemy. Okay, let's get started right away. Just laying out your cards, I found it very interesting reading, always for Gemini. You have overarching your whole month, the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands is Saturn in Sagittarius. However, it pays to note, and I've been telling anyone who this pertains to, the overarching card is always taken right side up. But I do take note of it when it comes in reverse, and yours did come in reverse. So as we know, this is a very high stress card, right? And in reverse, it is the opposite of that. So with the... let's just take it upright for a second, right? It represents burden, responsibility, right? Some stress. There may be less stress, but you may not feel that way with it in reverse. You may feel the stress, and you have to sort of decide whether you're going to experience it. I know that probably sounds weird, but it doesn't really surprise me in your particular reading. Your readings are always rich with symbolism, and there is a harvest indicated here, right? As you can see, this person is holding their harvest, but it wasn't easily won, right? It was something that they had to work for. Now, they either had to work for it physically, with actual work, or they had to do some internal work to get to that point. So let's keep going, and we'll see how this pertains to you, Gemini. You do have, hold on. You do have the Mirror, and wow, that's not a Gemini card. I don't know what it is. It says, I see myself in you. I know your scars. I have them too. This could be someone who you have in your life, but this also could be two sides of yourself, right? And that would make a lot of sense, right? That you sort of going through the twins and finding out how each of them feels about what's been going on. One thing about Geminis is that they absolutely have those two sides, and those two sides can either be a deterrence or it can be an very enriching experience where you can see sides to things that most of us cannot. So once again, we'll keep that under our hats here as we go along. You have Demeter, and wow, this is a harvest card as well. Let me see. Look at the similarities in this card, in these two cards. Right? The symbolism is so similar, except one looks to be very stressful or was obtained stressfully. And one seems to be, so like we did say, it's sort of a choice that you're going to have to make this year. These cards aren't in sideways, but still, I'm really feeling that, right? It's something you're going to have to sort through with that very fast mind of yours and figure it out, right? She is one of the 12 Olympians. And in Greek mythology, she is the goddess of harvest. Corn and agriculture, but harvest, right? She's a child of the Titans, and she personifies a seasonal cycle of fruitful harvest, very cyclical. She explains, do not force situations in your life to fruition. Don't do it prematurely. Allow them to unfold and mature with a strong foundation. So this could be you trying to, not saying force it, but constantly checking on that pot of boiling water, feeling stress over the timing of something. It could very well be. Now let's just keep going. You have turquoise here. It says, I am always here we go. I'm always at the right place at the right time with the right people. It says, improve timing, increase the occurrence of synchronistic opportunities, be inspired with creative ideas, develop understanding of various cultures and spiritual philosophies. I do like this turquoise for you here. Hopefully that is focusing correctly so you can see it. I do like the turquoise for you here, Gemini. Believe it or not, turquoise is associated with the planet Jupiter and the sign of Sagittarius, like this card is. So that could be another clue here. It definitely brings about good fortune, protection, communication, and guess what else? Stress relief. You're being called to look at something a little bit different. It's not as stressful as you think it is. Try to allow, right? Try to allow. You do have this card, and this card is very similar in coloring, right? It's very harvesty. It says, speak your truth with passion. And this is a fiery card, along with this card, which is also a fire element. And so you may be called upon to speak a truth or rush into something with a very, Sagittarius is also a very fiery sign, right? With that optimism and fire. You have witch here, and it says, you are a magical person. Exercise the magic in you to help you with the challenges in your life. Many of you might have a side to you that is extremely prolific with witchcraft. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're standing around a cauldron, right? It could very well be manifestation. You could be very good at manifestation, a lot better than what you actually think. Okay, let's keep it that way. Now, moving on to your charms. You have the two letters N as in Nancy and L as in love. Now, these could be someone's initials. It could very well be a town, a building, a restaurant. It could be anything like that this month. It could be a city. I mean, just keep it under your hat because they generally mean something by the end of the month. You have the Waves Ruin. This is a witch's ruin, by the way. And the Waves Ruin is, like you, very dual-natured. It stands for both self-sabotage or self-sacrifice. It depends on how you look at it. When this ruin turns up, it means answers are not as clear-cut as you think, perhaps at the beginning of the month. By the end of the month, you're going to have different answers that differ, answers to solutions that differ from how you enter the month, if that makes sense. You have the charm of Sagittarius, which is the arrow. Sagittarius seems to be big in this reading. It's Sagittarius/Jupiter, right? It's a bullseye. You're hitting the bullseye with something this month. You also have the shell, and the shell is on its side. So it's something you're listening to by the end of the month, right? This is a feminine energy, and it could mean actual feminine energy, or it could just be that intuitive thing that goes on inside a Gemini that's inexplicable, that they either listen to or they don't, or they push it aside and said, I would suggest you listen to yourself this month. Listen to that gut feeling of yours. You have the skull, and the skull is Pluto energy, Scorpion energy, death and rebirth. There is something here within you, I believe, that is being, I want to say that is dying, but it sounds so dramatic. That is being reborn. You have something else happening here. You're pushing something aside in lieu of something else, and this is all going on within you. I really like that. You have the phallic symbol here, and so you have the feminine energy, and you have the masculine protective energy because it's tiger's eye. So you have that balance, that really nice balance going on, and that is really nice energy. It really, really is. Now let's move on to your astrology. It is really not surprising that you pulled the card of Sagittarius. And as you can see, she is holding a bow and arrow, right? This is number 9 in this deck, by the way. Now, the Sagittarius is taking over your reading, at least so far. This is your sister mutable sign, right? It has optimism. Luck is on your side. This is a really good thing for you here. I was going to say Scorpio because of that Pluto energy. Gemini. Now you also have moon in Gemini, new moon in Gemini. Communication is the key. This communication, obviously this is that dual aspect of yourself, but communication is the key. But it could be you communicating with someone else, or it honestly could be what you communicate to yourself this month, right? That is going to count big time. Now, when we look at these other cards, Cirrus. This is an asteroid, and it says self-care, wellness, and agriculture. Agriculture, just like this. What seeds have you planted that you're waiting for fruition for? Did you plant something in the past here, and you're getting a little impatient trying to force it in some way, or you're trying to rush it because that harvest agriculture thing keeps coming out? Now, the depth of a mother's love is personified here in Cirrus, known as the Earth Mother, and represented by Demeter, which is freaking fascinating. This is represented by Demeter. This is a very strong sign for you. And if you don't believe me, damn it, look it up. It's just amazing, Gemini, okay? The mother of Persephone in Greek mythology. Mothers experience the expanse of love, grief, the cyclical nature of life, and the fierce protection for their children. Sirius in your natal chart can show you how you feel most naturally nurturing towards others, right? As well as what helps you feel cared for. You look to Ceres to improve your self-care and well-being, allowing yourself to feel nurtured by the Earth Mother. It provides a holistic outlook, right? It tracks the seasons of, what we need to feel whole. What is it that you are hoping for here? There is something that you're hoping for to that's causing you stress waiting for it. It's going to be different for all of you, Gemini. Fascinating that Demeter came out twice. It's just fascinating to me. Now, this card, the Imam Coeli, is origins, inner child. Origins, inner child. So in Latin, it means the bottom of the sky. In astrology, it means the cusp of your fourth house, or what crossed the northern hemisphere at the exact moment of your birth, Gemini. This placement can show you the roots of where you come from, the foundations of your personal life. It's the sign at the axis, shows how your personality formed based on your upbringing, your family, the relationships you had within your home life. While this can be a mark of past pride, it could also point past wounds, right? It points to that as well. You access this, and it can help you heal, allowing you to grow past your roots. There might be something that was implanted in you as a very, very young person, a sort of nervous energy. And it would be too much to go into because this is a general reading. But you individually should look into this in your personal chart. If you look at the description box, there's a free natal report in case you're just not sure. Now you also have the sign of Cancer here on the table, nurturing, sensitive, caring. Yeah, this could be something to do with your mother, honestly. This could be some sort of maternal thing that went on for better or for worse. We know that mothers can do both to us, right? So with this Cancer card, it is the tarot card of the Chariot. It's ruled by the moon, the crab, right? The mantra there is, I feel. Hard on the outside, right? The Cancers are, but that exoskeleton soft on the inside. The Cancer is represented by the crab for a reason. It's connected to domestic matters. They prioritize family, home, instilling loyalty into the connections they craft. They are known for what? Maternal sensibility. There's that mother aspect again. Cancer is a natural caregiver. You may have Cancer highly aspected in your chart, but damn, the power of Cancer in this reading is very strong no matter what. Cancer can attune to the energy of a room. They can read a room because their intuition makes them very sensitive to their environment. Cancer asks you to define your relationship to your home, your inner circle, your roots, your family. It's easy to put up walls, right? But the real strength lies in sharing your vulnerabilities, allowing yourself permission to be nurtured by others. Something to do with the mother figure here in your life, Cancer. Cancer. I called you Cancer. Gemini. Do look to see what your chart looks like. Let's move on to your tarot. So here in your first leg, you have the butterfly coming in sideways, and it says a change for the better. But this is a choice you're going to have to make, right? You're going to have to make decisions this month based on change, metamorphosis. The butterfly is a choice for rebirth. It is Scorpio, Pluto energy, okay? Now with the cards here, you have, starting out your month, you have the Princess of Pentacles. By the way, I need to tell you, from here to here, the cards are different than from here to here. And the meanings in this particular deck can be a little bit different than traditional tarot, especially the astrological influences. And you're going to see that in one card in particular. But here you have the Princess of Pentacles. And the Princess of Pentacles in this deck anyway is just straight up earth energy. And she's quiet, she's observant. She reminds us that every step we take is meaningful. She's usually a messenger of good news. She indicates a new opportunity, the beginning form of a new opportunity. She indicates a time to appreciate the environment and what opportunity approaches, a job, a venture. or a solid relationship. Now here you have your decision cards, right? Anything coming in sideways in my readings are always decisions that you have to make, Gemini. And the next one up is the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is Sun in Leo, at least in this deck, okay? Sun in Leo energy. See if I could, hopefully you can see that. So with the Sun in Leo energy in this deck, the image is that of a volcano. Let me see if I can hold that up so you can really see it. You can see the volcano, right? That's bubbling to the surface with this fire energy. You have a very fiery reading this month. And the volcano is erupting, illustrating the masculine creative force that wants to explode into your world. This change includes conflicts, struggle, an opportunity for expansion at the same time, right? The sideways card indicates the duality and the choice held in that duality. So you're going to have to make a choice as far as this explosive energy, accepting it as a vehicle of change, right? Or accepting the status quo. This leads straight into the Prince of Swords. Now the Prince of, let's see if I could, I'm going to have to move most of these over. So the Prince of Swords here is air. It's straight up air. The princes and the princesses are just elements in this deck, right? And the prince was, this prince anyway, uses his logic to analyze, to scrutinize things. He's determined, he's motivated, he's ready to take action. His gift of keen perception enables him to view problematic situations with a wide lens. And this is a decision you're going to have to make, and it really reminds me of Gemini energy. All that I said to describe this prince really does describe you as an astrological sign. And to drive the point home, when we add this up and we break it down, Gemini, we get Mercury, which is your energy, that clarity, that communication that you're going to have to make decisions about and search for the first leg of your month. As we move on here to the second leg, and this is going to look a little messy until I'm finished moving everything, you have bird flying and it says news is on the way. Are you going to accept this news or not? You have another sideways card. It looks like you're going to have to make a lot of decisions, and a lot of the decisions you're going to have to make are extremely internally motivated. They're extremely internal. They're internal. And what's fascinating here is to represent to the beginning of your second leg, you have Temperance. Traditionally, this would be Sagittarian, Jupiter energy, but in this deck, all the major arcana have no astrological associations. So that took a lot of getting used to as far as I'm concerned. But here you have Temperance, right? And this represents the alchemy of life. Temperance is Latin for mix, alchemical balancing, recombining, right? Components of life and spirit until they mix into the ideal mixture, a solution. You're trying to figure something out here. You're trying to figure out what it is you want. You're trying to figure out how to get it. You're trying to figure out the best course of action. At times you could be stressed. At times you could be a little impatient this month. The very next card up is the Nine of Wands in reverse. And this is the card that is the center of your month, the center of your reading. And, the Nine of Wands in this deck is Mars in Sagittarius. And your journey has taken you through difficult, trying times, right? Leaving you very battered. But you are holding your ground. You've gotten through it. And the key to the Nine of Wands is to recognize and accept the experiences that led you here, because in reverse, this is past stuff that you have been through and you're still standing. This is like my I'm still standing card. You've been through it, you've survived it, and now you're facing something with brand new eyes, brand new insight. And this leads you straight into the Ace of Wands. In any deck, this is a positive card. It's fire energy in this deck. And it ignites the fire of action, right? Passion. It brings feelings of restlessness with it. It's sort of like a primordial energy. It's like an awakening card. It's a powerful energy, Gemini, and it refuses to be held back or contained, kind of like that volcanic energy that we talked about. It symbolizes the birth of light in darkness. And if you notice in this card, and of course I just wrecked this. God, I hate that. You can see it. You can see the light, and then at the top you can see it was once darkness. Yeah, you've gotten through it. Now you hold that torch, that light. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Venus energy. And so for many of you, this could be love related. For many of you, this could be goal related, money related, trying to figure all that stuff out. Very, very nice energy, regardless of what this is about. Here in your last leg, another sideways card, you have Axe. It says forces working against you. Now, that's a perception. That's a choice. It could actually be the truth, but are you going to allow it to affect you? That's the point. It's coming in sideways, right? If you came in right side up, that's something you're just going to have to deal with. It's coming in sideways, so it's not necessarily something you're going to have to claim, right? And here is one of the reasons why I find this deck so fascinating. Your first card up here is the King of Swords, and usually this is Sun in Aquarius, but in this deck, it is simply Gemini. So you have shown up in your own reading, and this Gemini energy is very positive. This is the positive aspect of Gemini. Here you are, right? This is quiet focus, sharp insight, brilliant intellect, a lightning fast mind that brings what? It brings success and vision. And what I like about it is that all this sort of stoic knowing leads to this action card, this Knight of Swords. And in this deck, it's Libra energy. But I really think this is you, nonetheless, right? When you look at the Knight of Swords, especially when coming after the King of Swords, this is action stemming from this knowing, from this clarity, right? The Knight of Swords has a sharp mind. He's articulate. He's like the divine messenger in this deck. His goal is to integrate, right, his inspiration, his inspired thought into the actual world. And it's sort of forward motion. It's like, okay, he draws a sword and he's like, I got it now. And like you, his mind is complex, multifaceted, and his mind is alive with surges of inspiration that shows itself with movement. So this is a really nice way to use the energy that you have attained this month. This leads straight into the Queen of Wands coming in sideways. And in this deck, the Queen of Wands is straight up Leo energy. Now, this is the feminine aspect of creation. So you're pulling, it's like, let me see if I could find my pointer. You have this insight, this standstill of this exhale saying, okay, I think I've got something here. The action card and the manifestation card. This could be a fiery counterpart that you have in your life, or yet another aspect of the Gemini mind on full display. She is a manifester. You know, you take action, you manifest. The naysayers, the people working against you, it's your choice whether you want to pay attention to them or not. They're not going to affect you. They can only affect you if you allow them to. Now, what's fascinating is when we break this down, we get zero. Ground zero. You're starting something brand new. You really need to leave this in the past, or leave this on peripheral to where you're like, yeah, I know that you're there, but I don't really care. I'm going this way. You're this way. Got it? Okay, let's move on to your challenges. So with your challenges, you have all sideways cards. It's unbelievable. Wow. So in your challenges, you have the wheel. And the wheel, it says indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. That is a challenge that you're going to have to overcome. Are you going round and round and round with something in your head? Are you exhausting yourself? Are you just doing this instead of doing this? That is a challenge. A challenge is a challenge. It's not something you can't overcome. I believe that you do overcome it, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy, right? So here you have the Five of Swords, and look at this. Look at the difference between this side, and this side. You have the Five of Swords in reverse. Now, this is Mercury in Aquarius. It's a very challenging minor arcana card, but it is in reverse. The communication, you have changed through some sort of communication. Movement towards peace. If, as you can see, the sun is rising on this card. She has not put her sword down, right? She's ready in case someone decides to do something, but she's definitely moving towards the sun, moving towards something beautiful. You have the Hermit here coming in right after her. And the Hermit in this deck and most decks is Virgo energy. And going inward to get this strength, to get this wisdom, to get this intuitive nudge, doing the work to produce that forward motion that we see here. He helps you foster growth that leads you to a new level. And now I'm seeing why this came in reverse, and you have both upright and reverse. You have, well, this is great. I mean, you have the Six of Wands coming directly after that. Now, this is in your challenges, but this is a success card. So is it something that's going to come to you very easily? No. Is it something that is going to be insurmountable? Again, no, right? Because we can see that here. But it'll be a challenge, but you have victory here, right? You have Jupiter and Leo energy, success, recognition. In other words, worth it. This is worth it, whatever it is for you here, Gemini. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Cancer energy, the moon, again. That Cancer energy, where is it? Cancer energy, that inside work, that intuition, the pull, that lunar pull of something cyclic that you can't deny. You cannot deny this. Now, in your opportunities column, there is some sort of, it says younger woman, dealings or relationships with a younger woman. This is coming in sideways. Again, this is going to be something that it's unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen so many sideways cards with these tea leaves in anyone else's reading. And it doesn't surprise me that it's yours here, Gemini. But yeah, so you may be dealing with someone. It could be someone significantly younger or someone slightly younger. That could be the person holding that axe that you have to ignore. It could be someone that's actually in your corner, but there is some sort of thing. There's a decision you're going to have to make with a younger woman. You have more Cancer energy with the Chariot. And look, this is the beautiful side of the Chariot, right? Hold on one second. My dogs are going to bark. So sorry, it wouldn't be my reading unless there was a dog emergency, but you do have the Chariot here, and the Chariot is, like I said, Cancer energy, and the Chariot is willpower, the willpower to get through it. This is your opportunities column. Willpower, success, determination, moving on, forward motion again. That sun is rising. You're going towards it. You're not looking back. He's not looking behind him. The next card up is the Five of Wands in reverse, Mars and Leo energy. As you can see, you have chosen the lighter side, right? This is really nice energy for you. The end of conflict, harmony. This is your opportunity. Cooperation, moving on from all that crap that may even have been going on in your head. Right? You have more Cancer energy here with the moon. Beautiful. Beautiful energy. Now, the moon is mystery, feelings, responding to a pull, right? The unconscious mind is working magic. Could represent your subconscious fears that you're overcoming. Coupled with the Chariot, you overcome them. I mean, there's just no doubt about it, okay? We add this up and we break this down. You're not going to believe it. We get number 2, which is the moon again. The moon is a big deal in this reading. The moon is a big deal. You have a cyclical pull, the harvest, the moon. Harvest come out many times. Demeter comes out many times. Fascinating. Let me see where my, there it is. Sorry, I'm not more prepared. Let me give this a quick shuffle. This is my Nordic deck. Pull a card here, and then we will do your numerology for Gemini from March 2025. I have Nana. So Nana, it says steadfastness and loyalty. She is a Norse goddess and wife to Baldur. She's kind, she's mild-tempered, and like her husband, they're blessed with a strong, happy union. Oh, wow. Yeah. Their devotion and loyalty sort of transcends death. She is closely related to matrimony. So you may be looking towards a coming together between two people, right? A commitment of some kind. Now, this commitment could be towards another person. It's obvious that way. Or it could be a commitment that you're making, a brand new commitment that you're making to yourself. But commitment is here on the table. She is seen passing between worlds on the card. A funeral boat is behind her. Something passing away. Something else. She's headed towards something else that's being reborn. Beautiful energy. I mean, it is really nice energy. The reason that the funeral boat is following behind is when her mate dies, she perishes from grief and accompanies him in death. I know it sounds kind of dark, but it really isn't. She accompanies him on the funeral ship and all the way to the realm that he is headed towards. She goes to retrieve him. She's there by his side. The devotion and loyalty transcend death. Okay? You are either you're either finding someone who is this devoted to you. You're having this devotion towards each other. It's not a one-sided thing. Or you are creating a brand new list of goals for yourself after attaining something that was very hard won. It is a commitment either way here, Gemini. Now looking at your numbers, the number that came out, well, there were 3 numbers that came out the most. You have Mercury, which is number 5. You have the moon, of course, which is number 2. For all the reasons we said, Mercury is your ruling planet. The moon has come out over and over again. You're feeling this pull, right? And you have Mars energy, which is equally listed here. Let me see if I can refocus that. I hate when this is out of focus. It just focuses and refocuses by itself, so I apologize. But that Mars is that passion, that fire energy, that ignition, that forward motion, right? The totals here, when we add up every single number in this reading and we break it down, we get number 8, which is Capricorn, Aquarius. But more than that, it's Saturn. It's discipline. It's hard work. It is long-term goals. You've attained something, and it was not easy. You've attained something that you've earned. Period. End of story. Okay? The planet that we talked about the most here was Sagittarius, was Jupiter. All right, that expansive luck. And it wasn't luck per se, but you are on a lucky streak. You do have that expansive energy that's just sort of breaking out, okay? And as far as signs go, we have Scorpio, Capricorn, Taurus, Sagittarius, Virgo, Aquarius, Leo, Libra, Gemini, Leo, and Cancer. The sign that we talked about the most was Sagittarius, Jupiter energy. You are expanding this month. The second 2 that were mentioned the most was the sun, that bright energy moving towards the sun, and the moon, right? That pull. And when I see the sun and the moon side by side, I can't help but think it's a coupling, right? It is a coming together. So if you are looking for a commitment from another person, it looks like this might be yours. If you are looking for a brand new commitment that you are making to yourself that is going to be successful, this is it. I wish you all the luck, Gemini. This was a beautiful reading, and I will see you next time.